Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you for being with me again today. Today we're going to discuss how some companies and some leaders of these companies, that is energy companies, discuss how they somehow have a moral authority in discussing who could participate on the global market and who cannot participate on the global market. And when I say global market, I'm talking about this, right? Not this, but you know what I mean. So it's unbelievable how some people just think that somehow they are, without evidence to support the claim, think that they are superior in a way or another to other ones. In this case, we have countries led by people who profess that. So this article is from Business Insider by Phil Rosen, May 17th, 2022, and this is the title. Russia will likely be shut out permanently from global energy markets, top oil executives say. So, and we find that top executives from Chevron and Woodside Petroleum predicted Russia will be cut off from global energy markets. I bet that's all you can wait and pray for. That's wishful thinking. But keep going. Once the EU wanes off Russian supplies, Moscow is unlikely to be able to participate again, they said. I wonder why. And I'm quoting, the move has not been an energy move. No. It's been a social move, as people have recognized the destructive nature of the conflict, referring to the Ukraine-Russia conflict. Now remember, these are some businessmen talking. The executives from Chevron and Woodside Petroleum. It's not politicians. So nevertheless, they can have their own opinions, right? So let's go here and continue. Russia will likely be shut out permanently from global energy markets once Europeans can operate without the country's oil and gas. Well, the same executive said. And who's going to fill the void? Let me guess, Chevron and Woodside. So the European post-World War II thought there will be never a war on European soil again. That is like children. How can you predict the future? And who believed that was very naive. Why? Because that person does not understand the human nature, doesn't understand politics, doesn't understand power, doesn't understand many dynamics. But nevertheless, this person is Meg O'Neill, CEO of Australia's Woodside Petroleum. That's what she said. And she said, I think, she continues, I am quoting, I think what has happened is so shocking for them that I think they will not be lured into complacency around acquiring energy from Russia in the future. But who was shocked was very naive. Usually children are shocked because they don't expect things, or people without knowledge, they always get surprised and shocked when you can't comprehend certain realities and you could not bring your brain to foresee that such a thing could be possible. And that's very naive. These people did not learn anything from history, or they think that history will never repeat with different actors. Well, it says that Europe isn't the only market that can turn to alternatives to Russian energy. Liquefied natural gas products in Australia, O'Neill added, can help fill demand in Asia once Russia is eventually out of the trade loop. So you see how it is? They try to not be capitalist. They try to isolate and ban, if they can, other companies to sell their oil or their product. Therefore, they will be able to fill that gap. Otherwise, they couldn't for various reasons. So they're going to ask their politicians to do everything they can by using the military, if they can, to keep these companies from a different country that obviously is inferior to ours because, I don't know, they attacked Ukraine. That's an awful thing. But there will have some saints, on the other hand, that attacked more than one country in the past 20 years, 23 years. Can you think of at least one? Or think of two, because usually the same ones. And they are the ones who feel that they are virtuous enough to, based on the atrocities of this war, which they are. But it's like the unique war. It's like never, like none other. This is the end of we're going to impose sanctions on these guys, but by doing that we're going to help our guys who actually sponsor us to take over without competition, I might add, because this is a little club. They fix their things too, right? And they don't. Eventually they will never be able to be allowed. And now the world won't allow Russia to return to global markets. The world. Who's the world? If world is Great Britain, United States, or if the world is United States and its followers, then you have about 20, 40 countries. The world is bigger than 40 countries, Miss O'Neill. But nevertheless, it seems like she didn't learn anything in this life. And I dare to say that. I'm sorry. So the world won't allow Russia to return to global market unless President Putin has a change of heart. How can he change his heart? Bring people back to life, pay reparations, turn back the time. How can he, redeem himself in front of the saints from the other side that had no sins whatsoever? No sins. That's why they can judge, Oh, no judging. Isn't that like a Christian something? Yeah. Okay. It says here, there's a little bit of a moral transition that would have to happen, Jude said. And this Jude is the director of operations for Chevron, Australian business. So there's a bit of moral transition that would have to happen. The move has not been an energy move. It's been a social move, as people have recognized the destructive nature of the conflict. And so I suspect that if there were a quick change of heart and more responsible actions, that could be reintegration. These guys talk as if this is their world. They own it, which they do to a certain extent. But these guys are eager to ignore reality for their fantasies. So how do you think you're doing this, Jude and O'Neill? How do you think you're going to do? If tomorrow Russia disappears and there's no more oil, no more gas, no more energy, including food. I'm talking about wheat. I'm talking about oil, cooking oil from Russia. Let's say that Russia doesn't exist. Don't you know that this world that you pretend you own will be poorer? You know that? So somehow you have to. Right now you're going to make a profit because you exclude one supplier, but the world remains the same. Only for you. And you're going to fill the void left by this if you can. Remember that's limited. It's limited. The resources are limited. And the capabilities of output of these resources is limited. So yes, you make profit, as I posted some videos, but nevertheless, these guys think in that they have a framework in which mental, box that they think we own this and we can decide everything we want because we are moral. But I don't think they really think that. Some do. But I think some people just say that because people forget certain things and they say, hey, wait a second, how about you? How about you? How about you? Well, maybe Russia will be a little bit isolated from Europe. That would be it. And United States. The rest of the world, unless these guys, the big club, will use blackmail and threats, then Russia will still have a market. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.